Hey everyone, by user request on the Discord server, I'll be doing an update on Lumens versus Bitcoin. It has been a while since I've done an update on Lumens, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. But of course, before we get started, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. This market is extremely risky and volatile. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, and doing your own research. This is just my humble opinion on the market, and you are more than welcome to agree or disagree with me. Doesn't hurt my feelings one bit. So yeah, let's take a look at this. Obviously, back on the 4th of November, we had a huge push up, right? And then I did a video that was talking about we were retracing and things were coming down. We had a test on the hourly of this 200 simple moving average, and we had a good reaction off of that. We had a decent bullish reaction off of that, but let's just take a look and see what things look like. I'm going to go to a higher time frame. I'm going to go to say a 4-hour time frame and just take a look at this. So what we have right here on our stochastics, right? Our stochastics are this lime green here on the 4-hour. We've got a higher high, and then we have a lower high here on the on our indicator. Now, the other thing that we have, which is also bad, is we have a lower high here as far as the price goes, but we have a higher high on our stochastics. That is bearish. So we have regular bearish divergence here, and we have hidden bearish divergence here. All right, so that's important. That's important to pay attention to. That doesn't mean that lumens can't be bullish long term, but from a swing trader's perspective, right? A swing trader isn't looking at the weekly chart and saying, oh yeah, this can do nothing but go up, even though the weekly has gotten rejected from the 21 exponential 3 times. We got rejected on the 21 exponential back here on September of 2019, and then we got rejected last week, and then we got rejected this week. All right, let's just put that behind us. But a swing trader isn't looking at this and saying, oh, well, this is going to go back to 2800. A swing trader wants to know, all right, well, what's going to happen next? Do I need to get out of my position so that I can accumulate more? Do I stay in my position so that I can sell higher? And it all really depends on where it is that you bought from. Obviously, this level right here is going to be pretty important, so we'll go ahead and mark that off. This level where we had lots of support, which we broke down from, we had resistance, which we broke up from. Then we had our retest, which we sprung off of. Now we tested it again. But let's pay attention, not just to the fact that the stochastics are starting to cross to the downside, but let's just take a look at the price action as it relates to the moving averages. All right, so we are currently sitting above the 100 exponential, just hanging here. But now we are also trading underneath the 55 exponential. We've been rejected from the 55 exponential after it was support. So let me pull out my my little brush here. We had support here, but then it was rejected over and over and over and over and over, and was just recently rejected last hour. So about about 80 minutes ago or so, we got rejected from here. We tried to push up, but we got rejected. Now we're sitting here at support. So my opinion on this, if we take a look at this zone right here is likely going to continue to squeeze, and we are in a bit of a squeeze right now. Not a squeeze as in like the sense of long and short squeezes, but we are in a squeeze on the Bollinger Bands. Look at these Bollinger Bands and how small they have gotten, and this is that little cloud that we have behind the chart right now. This chart, which is driven off of the 20 simple moving average, which is this light red line over here, is driven based off standard deviation off of that 20 simple moving average. And we are squeezing and squeezing. We are below the median of the 20 simple moving average on the hourly. So that's the basis right here, 877 Satoshis. We're sitting at 873. And I do believe if we close an hourly below, and I mean close an hourly below 872, chances are very good we're going to come back down here to 850 to 854. The thing that I don't like the fact that this moving average right here, I'm going to draw a straight line so that we can compare. That 200 simple moving average is moving almost at the same slope as this flat line. It is not moving up very much at all. And if this price does happen to break down below this 200 simple moving average, you know what we're going to get? We're going to get a case where we're going to start to, and I'm going to go back and see if I can try and find a scenario. We were sloping up, and then we had a crazy breakdown. And then, of course, we started to slope down. We started to have divergence and bearish crosses and all the major moving averages. And right now, what we have seen the 21 cross below the 55. That happened a few days ago. That happened on the 12th. Actually, that was just yesterday. We had a fresh cross to the downside, and I do think that we are probably going to consolidate in here for just a little bit longer. But that's only going to happen for so long before the pressure is released and it explodes in one direction again. And again, my opinion here right now, if you're not in Lumens, I would say that you should wait to buy until it breaks above 880. My bias right now is it's probably on the Bitcoin trading pair. It's probably going to break to the downside and probably go on a retest of 850. I've been wrong before, but that is just my strategy because really, yeah, to be completely honest, what either is going to happen is we're going to break up and out of here. So let me just change this up a little bit, change that to white, and give ourselves a nice little dotted line. We're either going to break up and out of here, or we are going to break down and go down for a retest. And then what happens down here, that's going to be a good test. So that moving average right there, the 200 simple and the hourly, sitting there at 850 is probably pretty important. If I go to a 3-hour time frame, that's where the 55 exponential is, right there at 858. So that's important. But also we have to pay attention down here to 832, which also is it should be support because it was support here, then it was resistance, we broke through, and to come back down here and retest this level at about 830, is possible. So that's something we also have to pay attention to. From a retracement standpoint, if we go here from the top and we come down here to the bottom, we did break through the 618. Did we get to the 786 though? Let's just take a look at the 786. And see, we kind of pushed through that, so I'm not really seeing a good measurement here as far as a real a real sign that we're going to come back down here to 740. I don't think that that's probably in the cards. I would say for the most part that we had this was likely 5 waves here, so this is probably looking to be a 1, and then we came down here to the 50, which is still pretty good. So a retest of this 382 at 840, yeah, I think that's probably likely, and yeah. So I think overall I'm bullish on Lumens, even though that I do think it is going to break down, test some of these levels down here, especially this 55 exponential on the 3-hour. Right, so I'm on the 3-hour. I would expect a retest of that. I suppose if I took a look at the 4-hour, probably going to get a little more confluence. There's the 55 exponential right there at the 382 at 842. A push down here would probably be pretty healthy, and I would say that would likely be a way for us to move more to the upside. Let's just take a look. I'll take 1 minute here, take a look at Lumens against Tether and see what that looks like. Oh gosh, that's right. I forgot. We were talking about this in the video yesterday. There was a crazy spike on this. I don't know if this was when Binance did their they were doing some maintenance, but I don't think it was during that window. But yeah, I mean, look at the Stokes down here on the 4-hour time frame. They're just down in the dungeon, sitting down here at like 3 or 4. So I do think that Lumens probably will break to the upside. Especially versus Tether. So, if you try and ignore that wick that we had, this does look constructive from a continuation standpoint. So again, ignoring the wick, this does look like we're probably going to break up and out of this. Maybe come down and test a lower number, but looking at Lumens versus Bitcoin, it does look like it wants to come back and retest and then spring up. But this does look pretty constructive at the moment, especially because the Stokes are all the way down here on the dungeon on the 4-hour. Let's take a look at the 12-hour. 12 hours coming down, it could support a little more downside or at least some sideways consolidation. Let me go back to this, and let's just take a look at our lower time frames and see what they look like. You know, hourly does support a little bit more downside, which kind of coincides with the Bitcoin trading pair. The 2 hour does look like it is, you know, it's still climbing. But the 3 hour and the 4 hour definitely look like it is reset and it is ready to continue to the upside. So I would be bullish on Lumens, to be fair. But then, you know, of course, looking for, at least here on the 3 hour, looking for a stop on the USD trading pair at about 7.4 cents. Currently, we're about 7.7 cents. So not a whole lot of risk for potential for a decent reward there. So, I mean, as far as targets would go that I would be interested in on this trading pair, if this is the top and then we're going, or sorry, the bottom, we're going up here and retesting this, I would say probably, anyway, it's hard to tell because we've already hit that. But yeah, I would still say that probably continue to the upside to 9 cents, 10.5 cents, maybe 11 cents. And if we break through that, then we'd be looking at like 12.5 cents or so. But we still need to break out of this wedge before I think that happens. But I am bullish on Lumens. So yeah, that's what I've got on Lumens right now. If you have any questions, pop in the Discord. If you like the videos, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Otherwise, I will talk to you all later. Have a good one wherever you are in the world.